A lot of people ask me about what I consider to be a bit of a handful of a snake. Eastern browns to me are like pussycats, or a better way to describe it, they're more like computers. If you want a reaction, you just press a certain button. If you ask me what my opinion is of handling taipans obviously are a long snake. They've got big fangs and they're also a little bit more intelligent and they mean business. But what I'm about to show you now, they're a snake that is wide wrong, man. These guys, if you physically have to handle them, they are very potentially dangerous. They flick up on themselves and they carry on like a pork chop. See? Even bit the bloody hook then. Now let me get his poo out first and then I'll introduce him. While his face is covered, he's not going to concentrate too much on my hand, which... I've got a similar venom to that of a tiger snake. In the early days, you see some of the books, they actually called them a tiger snake, but they're not. They're a different species. And some of you herbs out there are probably going, what drugs you on, Tony? No one ever freaking will call them that. When I say in the early days, you know I mean a while ago, because I'm heading towards 50, guys, remember that? I'll lift this up so you can look at him whilst I go and change his water. It's only a small species of snake, about a metre. I've had this guy a few years and he eats like a bloody pig. The Roughscale, also known as the Clarence River snake. They can be, this guy here has got bands on him, but they can have no bands, they can have speckles, they can be brown, they can be green, they can be grey. I've caught them gunmetal grey with no marks at all. A lot of people see the keelback and think it's a Roughscale, but believe it or not, when you look closely at this guy when he comes past the camera, they do have keeled scales, but very, very mildly compared to a keelback. And when people see the keelback, because they have very heavily keeled scales, they think, oh, bloody Roughscale, venomous, dangerous. But in fact, keelback's totally harmless, and the roughy, totally different. One way I can tell the difference, if you have a look at the face of this roughy here, see how his mouth, the slit on his mouth goes all the way back to the end of his head, and it's dead straight. The keelback has an upturned, like a smile, as though he's a happy little man, whereas the roughy has a dead straight mouth. So if you ever get the photos, compare the two heads, you'll see the keelback's got a smiley face. The difference, if one bites you, the other one does not. Roughies also don't mind the cooler weather. You often find them up in the mountains where the temperature is a little bit cooler. And sometimes in the photo shoots, I'll put these into a bucket with a little bit cooler water. It's the roughies only, to slow them down, and bloody hell, it doesn't work. They're off their head still. I was doing a photo shoot with this guy, I got some magnificent photos from him, but I also had a bloody close call. See? I just puckered up then, because he was under my finger, and that was like 2 foot away from him, as I don't know if you could see in the camera, but they're a serious snake. Come on, little beautiful. I'm just going to take the camera out, so just come my ass. He's all a bit wide here. What does Rocky look like? So friendly, so lovable, just want cuddles, don't you, buddy? Hey? And so slow too. Okay, he's now feeling insecure, so the next thing is to retreat. Because I've got the door of the enclosure open, I do not want him to retreat to me. Because really I'm a big girl wearing a pink skirt, you all know that.